Hey, 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 you're waking up with Craig. Morning on Tuesday, November 20th. Tyner is joining me again. Tiny, thanks for joining the show.
I love being back.
We're going to start with the morning quote as usual. You can't win unless you learn how to lose. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And we're going to start with recapping the Monday Night Football game with the Los Angeles Rams winning 54-51 in a record-breaking night of scoring on Monday Night Football. The Rams went through their bad times with Fisher as the coach. They had some hard times, but now they look like the real deal. Tyler, what did you think of the game last night?
That was extremely exciting. The over was set at 63, and they combined for 105 points. It's amazing. I can't believe these two teams can't play every week because it would be just back and forth. They'd win every other week.
And do you think this is a preview to what we could see as a Super Bowl matchup?
It's definitely a strong possibility. I still think the Saints are going to get the best of the Rams at home, but NFC Championship, Saints-Rams, unless the Giants run the table.
And do you think the Chiefs are by far the best team in the AFC right now?
Yes. Tonight, though, Mahomes looked exactly like what he is. He looked like a great rookie. Emphasis on rookie. 5 turnovers. Not going to win many games with 5 turnovers. You would have won this game, with maybe 3 turnovers.
And I think both quarterbacks and both teams tonight had a lot of turnovers. And there was like 5 defensive touchdowns between the two teams. And I think against the Saints, against a Tom Brady Patriots, you can't be giving Drew Brees and Tom Brady those extra drives because they will make you pay. This game, however, was supposed to be played in Mexico City. The field conditions were not good, so they moved it back to LA. NFL has just said in 2019 they will play a game in Mexico City. Tyner, what do you think about that?
I hope that the field is in good condition because the last thing you want is players to be worried about their safety. I think it's great to expand out, and I'd like to see them go to many other places. They go to London, they go to Mexico, they're going to go to Mexico City. I'm all for it.
My fear is they're playing on soccer fields, they're playing on rugby fields turned into football fields. If we want to play, and if we're going to play a game in London every year, we might as well get a stadium in London that is a football stadium and put football grass on the field because somebody is going to get hurt. However, I don't think there was anyone more hurt tonight than Eastern Michigan. Rutgers outscored Eastern Michigan 31-4 in the first half. Tyler, what do you think about that? In 20 minutes of basketball, they scored 4 points. They averaged 1 point every 5 minutes. Tyler, what do you think about that?
That's atrocious. You call yourself a college basketball team, you're going to put up 4 points in the first half? I could put up 4 points myself in the first half against Rutgers.
Now, I have to imagine, if I put one guy, give me 3 guys, 3 on 5, 3 Division basketball players, even from wherever, could go out there and just shoot a 3 every single time, and you're probably going to make 2 of them at least, and you have 6 points. How can a team only put up 4 points in one half?
I don't know. I didn't think it was possible unless you're just not trying, not focused, or you're a Pee Wee division playing in the NBA. It's not that possible.
Now, they're obviously not one of the top teams. One of the top teams right now, the top team in the NFC East, is the Washington Redskins. They're the top team in the NFC East, whether you like it or not. They have a big game against Dallas. Can Colt McCoy hold it down?
No. Cannot hold down the 4. He hasn't started a game in a long time. He's not ready to go beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Now, this is the only thing to that. In 2014, Colt McCoy went for 299 yards, completing 25 of 30 passes in a 20-17 OT win. Do you know who that was against?
The Cowboys.
Do you know where that game was?
Dallas.
In Dallas. And do you know where the game is this Thursday?
Dallas.
Against the Cowboys. I don't know if Colt McCoy can do it, but I know Adrian Peterson is running hard for them right now. They have some weapons on the outside with Josh Doxson and Jordan Reed. Their defense with Norman and other guys is playing well. I think the Cowboys are hot, and I think they will win on Thanksgiving. But I think there's a chance Colt McCoy can hold the water steady. Do I think they are going to do anything in the playoffs if they get there with Colt McCoy? Absolutely not. But do you think that Colt McCoy has any chance to hold the water steady? Or do you think between the Giants, the Eagles, and Cowboys, someone else is coming?
I think the fact that the Giants are going to run the table is going to prevent Colt McCoy from getting to the playoffs. But I don't think he's ready to win on Thursday. I know he's done it before, but the Cowboys, they look good right now. Zeke is dominating on the field, and Dak is doing what he has to do, making the good throws, which we haven't seen consistently from Dak Prescott. And when Zeke isn't doing it all, Dak struggles. When Zeke struggles, the whole team struggles.
Now, the NFL playoffs are coming up. We're in Week 12. Playoffs in the NBA are far off, but the Celtics have some real issues right now. They lost again, 112 to 117 to the Charlotte Hornets. A former Celtics player, Jay Crowder, says, obviously they have a lot of offensive players that can really score the ball, but you have to have guys that do their dirty work. Marcus can't do it all by himself. You've all got to buy into it, I feel like, and that's one of the problems they are going through right now. Do you agree with his comment?
I do. And I feel like our defensive part of our game has not been there completely. Hayward is still easing back, but we can't just keep talking about Hayward. Act like Hayward when he's fully healthy. It's just going to fix all of our problems. It's deeper than that.
We're starting to get into the good part of our season.
We gotta go be scrappy. We gotta have Marcus Morris and Marcus Smart go, elbow some guys in the ribs. We gotta show a little fight.
And I like how you said the word scrappy. And last year I remember that Houston Rockets game where Marcus Smart had like 2 charges in the last 30 seconds against James Harden. And there were games where we shouldn't have won last year with all these guys, but we were young and scrappy. I feel like now we have been told we're one of the top 2 teams in the East with the Raptors, but the Raptors are legit. The Sixers are getting better with Jimmy Butler. They look good right now. And the Bucks are a good team. The East is not going to be handed to us. We got to go win it. And I think we got to be scrappy. I think you said it. The Marcus brothers have got to get after the ball. And I think Kyrie, even on offense, has got to be scrappy. We got to have that. It's life or death instead of win or lose. And go get the damn win. What do you think is the biggest thing to turn this around? Who do you think it starts with?
It starts with Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart is a dog. Marcus Smart is the difference between this team having an identity on the defensive side of the ball and, like I said, being scrappy. It starts with Marcus Smart.
Now, we just talked about a team with loaded talent. We got to talk about the softball MLS draft league mock draft. Who in the first round would you take if you had the number 1 overall pick?
It's not that hard for me. I take Greg Labonte. I think Greg Labonte is the best softball player I've ever seen. As far as, the state of Maine, as far as this draft league.
All right, so
he's to me, he's underrated. He is, if not the best, one of the top hitters in this league. He's great defensively wherever you put him. He has his preferences, but you could put him anywhere in the field and he'll be just fine. And he loves to play with his friends. He wants to play with his friends. He's a great team guy. He's funny. He's just someone you want in your dugout.
So we came up with a mock draft. The 12 coaches have been released, and we're going to do a little first-round magic here.
Oh, my.
Derek Haskell has the first pick. Ryan Markey has the second pick. Zach Timmermeyer the third. Luke Cody the fourth. Scott Corvo the fifth. Nate Mishu the sixth. Mozzie the 7th, Jody Boldick the 8th, Nate and the General have the 9th, Mac Delano the 10th, Matty Roy the 11th, Alex Brochu rounds it out with the 12th. Derek Haskell has the first pitch. He's a pitcher. Who do you go with?
Derek Haskell's taking Greg Labonte. Haskell loves Greg, and he sees how undervalued Greg could be. And the fact that Greg would be playing with him as a friend, would make his team. It's to me, it's the best number 1 overall pick, no matter who has first pick. Greg Labonte's my pick.
And I've gone back and forth on this between Johnny Alexander and Greg.
Yeah.
I've decided to go with Greg because Derek and Greg have a good relationship. I believe that if you have Derek as a pitcher and you have Greg at short, or even put him in the outfield, you at least have one of your bases covered. We move on to the second pick with Ryan Markey. I'm going to go and say he picked Shane Cirillo because they were on the Rockies together last year. I think they played well. I think they saw a lot of the same things. I think if you can carry chemistry over from one year to the next, it really works out. And having 2 outfielders to start and build with, and Shane Cirillo, I mean, he can put the ball out at Pettingill Park anytime he wants. Who do you think goes 2?
I completely agree with you. You hit it right on the money. Shane O'Drano would go 2 to Markey. I remember growing up, and I was just part of the. Obviously, I wasn't playing at 12, 13 years old. I would do the book for my dad's team, and Shane was on our team. And there was no one that I looked up to as a softball player more than Shane Cirillo. He could do it all. He was swaggy. Shane Cirillo, and as I grew up, I realized how talented he really is, how much of a great outfielder he is, how hard he can hit the ball. Shane Cirillo's going to stay with Ryan Markey.
Zach Timmermeyer picks 3rd. He wasn't a first rounder last year. I believe he has to be this year. He was the All-Star MVP, led his team, had a great season. I think he has to go in the first round, so he would be his first-round pick as a pitcher as well, which brings a versatile feature to his team.
I agree.
You believe Timmermeyer has to pick himself?
I believe he has to. If he doesn't have to, if the draft league decides he won't have to go as a first-round pick, I can see J5 going back again. They played together. J5 is an extreme talent, and you can really bank on a guy that can play short. He's one of the fastest outfielders in the league. J5 would go there.
Luke Cody picks 4th. We love Luke.
He has to take himself.
He has to take himself. It's not even a debate. But
you're good.
He is the best glove I have seen at shortstop.
Oh yeah.
In the state of Maine. He has a great glove, and I think rightfully so, he has to be his first-round pick.
It's nice playing 3rd next to him. Feel pretty comfortable sitting in your own 2 feet.
Scott Corvo might still be recovering from the tough Atlanta Braves loss. They made it to the World Series. They lost twice.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to him. I think he goes back with Mike Muse. I do too. I think they worked well together. The Corvo pitches, and he has Muse at short behind him, and I think he likes knowing that. And I think they both have great bats and good home run power. They can back each other up in the lineup and switch it so the guy in front is protected from the guy behind him. And I think they go out and get another guy later, like Doble or someone they had last year, who can protect the other guy. And I think that's what they go with. Nate Mishu, I think, is just going to go with the best available guy left. And to me, that's Johnny Alexander.
I completely agree.
Especially if Nate pitches, I think Johnny gets the job done in the outfield for him. What do you think Johnny brings to that team?
Number 1 overall, he brings an excellent glove wherever you put him, and he brings speed. If you have speed, and if you have a left center fielder with extreme speed and a right center fielder with extreme speed, you can dominate out in the outfield as a team. You can track down balls that other teams aren't going to get. You can get to line drives that are, headed to the gap, and you can cut those off. And some guys are going to get a double no matter what. But that prevents guys getting a triple. And if you get a triple in softball, you're going to score.
Right.
9 times out of 10.
Johnny would be a great pick for them. We move on to the 7th pick with Mozzie. Who do you think Mozzie takes? He can pitch, play the infield some. Who do you think he goes with?
I think he goes with his good friend pick, Eric Picard. I know that they get along well. I know that they've been friends. Those two, Chuck and Caddy, seem to be like a great 4. At least they have been in the past. And I think Pick's a great outfielder and a great hitter, strong hitter. And, chemistry is huge. So Mozzie's going to pick Pick.
I think he picks Pick as well. We go to Jody Boldick. Who do you think he goes with?
I think Jody's going to go get a guy like Tucker. Tucker to back him up on the infield. Tucker's a great shortstop. Another talent, you look at Luke Cody, and then last year in draft league, a second behind him, maybe pretty equal with him. You look at Tucker. Tucker is a great team guy as well. He's going to show up and he's going to give you what his best is, and he's a great team guy. He's funny, so he's going to get Tucker.
I think Jody goes with Holbrook, only because Holbrook can play in the outfield with him, and he's a great hitter. And I think in this league, you need that great hitter. And I think with a guy like Jody who doesn't hit the ball great or doesn't have home run power, you need to go get a guy that does have that home run power. So I think they're going to go with Holbrook. We move on to Nate and the General picking. Who do you think they go with?
I can see Nate and the General. I can see them going to get in the first round. If, like you say, Sean Holbrook is gone, they might go get Bowen in the first round. Now, if they don't think Bowen is going to fall to them coming back in the second round. If they do, and they see enough, more talent that they think they got a chance to go get Bowen in the second round, then they go get, in my case, Sean Holbrook is still there. They go get Holbrook.
I think they're going to go with Tucker. I think he's one of the best still available on the board. He's a guy that can play short for you, one of the best top 5 gloves in the league. And even though he didn't have a great hitting year last year, I've seen other games, other teams he plays for where he has the potential to be that leadoff type of guy. Mac Delano, pitcher, very, very powerful hitter. What do you think he does?
I, just like you, think he's going to go get Ducky. Mac Delano can put the ball out like nobody else. When he's on, he's on. He can pitch. Ducky can also pitch. And that's going to be, they can mismatch with each other. Matt can go to third, Matt can go to first, Ducky can go to third, Ducky can go to first. I've seen Ducky play outfield, but Ducky can hit the ball. He can hit line drives. He's not going to waste home runs that Mac, could use himself. He's going to look at people that are going to get on, going to do the smart thing, going to go up the middle. Just going to be a great base hitter and a great fielder.
I think Matt goes with Ducky, and he wants someone who can either hit in front of him that he can protect or hit behind him that protects himself. And I think just having that type of 1-2 punch, especially in slow pitch softball, especially in this league, if you can have 2 great hitters in your lineup that can protect each other, that can hit the ball out of the park, can hit doubles down the line, can place it, I think that's the key to winning in this league. I know people want the talent, they want gloves in the field, and yes, those are good and they're hard to come by, but at the same time, I think finding a great bat is hard to come by too. Matty Roy, outfielder, who do you think he picks?
That's a tough one. I don't know Matty Roy that well. I don't know what his thought process is going into this. He's a good outfielder, so my guess is he goes somewhere on the infield. And that could be anywhere from, Cusson or even Kyle Bonifant if he wants to add power to his team. Matt Roy can rip the ball. I've seen it myself. But I'm going to have to go with my final answer is Kyle Bonifant.
And I think he takes David Cusson only because they played together last year. Cusson is an infielder that he can build his other infield around. He's someone who's reliable and makes good plays. He's not the best hitter, which is why I think he falls down to the 10, 11, 12 spot. But I think he still goes late in the first round. And I think he's someone that you can build a team around where you have an outfielder, now you have a shortstop, and now you can go build around that. Alex Brochu fills out the first round. And I think he's going to be a second-round pick like he was last year. He had that injury, and I think because of all that, he didn't get as much time as he would like to, so we didn't see as much of him. So I think he goes in the second round. He picks last in the first. Who do you think he takes?
Ooh. I'm not sure. There's this young, talented kid who won Rookie of the Year last year. And I believe his name is C.J. Gibson, the best Gibson in the league. So, if he has to take himself in the second round, I think he wants that young kid Gibson. So he's gonna go good. He's gonna get him. He's gonna make sure nobody else gets him because he's an up and coming star in this league.
Now I've thought about this, and I think what Brochu needs is a powerful bat.
Like CJ Gibson.
And I appreciate the comments, Tyner. But not yet. I think I fall late second, early third. Last year I didn't hit as well, so I think people see those numbers. And I think that Brochu goes with Kyle Bonifant. I think that Kyle has proven himself in the league. He can play outfield. He can play some other positions. He hits very well. And I think Brochu needs that type of bat in his lineup. Last year he had Clam, he had Ducky. Those two guys could hit well for him. I think he needs that in his lineup because he's an on-base guy, Brochu is. Bonifant really brings that power to him. Now, it's going to be interesting where everything plays out. There's going to be some good teams, some bad teams as usual. But two great teams that we're going to see tonight, Tyner. 8 Auburn versus number 1 Duke. What's your prediction for the game?
Duke by 20.
You think it's that much?
Maybe 15. Auburn gives us our best test yet, but it's not even close to enough. Duke is the most talented team I've seen in college basketball in my lifetime. Of course, that's not enough to see the Fab Five, which is what they're drawing comparisons to. Could they beat the Fab Five? Could they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers this year? Paul Pierce says they could, so that's the truth. So I got to believe that.
I mean, I think Duke wins this game by at least double digits. And I think Auburn plays them tough in the first half. But I think Duke just starts to pull away. And they even got guys like White and O'Connell off the bench. And, Trey Jones doesn't put up a lot of points in the stat column. But he is a guy that glues this team together. Because Williamson, Reddish, and Barrett are great scorers. But Jones knows how to get them the damn basketball. And I think that's the difference on this team this year is we got that type of guy. Because last year, Grayson had to do a lot of the scoring from dribbling himself and getting to the rim. I mean, Reddish, Barrett, and Williamson can just get set up from what Trey Jones does with the basketball. And I agree with you. I think it's a double-digit game. Speaking of great games, though, this might be the best Thanksgiving games we've had in a while. What are you looking forward to the most?
Specifically about the games, because I'm looking forward to some turkey, stuffing, some good food, probably a nap after, some late night shopping. But as far as the games go, I think the night game, I still think the Saints, blow out the Falcons. The Falcons have looked god awful. I know it's a division game, and I know you can't count out division games because anything can happen. But the Saints are the Saints right now, and the Falcons are the Falcons. Then you look at Bears-Lions. The Lions do have a chance. It's Thanksgiving. That's more of a division game where anything can happen. But I still think the defense is good enough against the Lions that Trubisky goes on and wins the game. I'm looking at the NFC East matchup because I know the Giants are going to run the table. So I know they're going to go 9-7. I need those Redskins. I probably need them to lose this week because we play them the following week or the week after that. And I can't let Washington, get a 7th win, get an 8th win. Somehow Colt McCoy finds a way to scrap out a couple more games, and it's looking closer for my New York Football Giants. So I'm looking to make sure, Zeke eats a little bit, but maybe I'd like to see a little bit of a decline in Dak. Maybe Dak struggles a little bit. Give me some hope that,
Now, see, I want to touch on that because we've talked about how the Cowboys are looking better. And a lot of us believe the Redskins aren't going to be able to do it with Colt McCoy. So does any part of you wonder or believe that you want the Redskins to win? Only because the Cowboys are more of a threat to you right now. And especially since you have Washington the next week. You go beat them, you're closer to them. I know you don't want Washington to get to a 7th win. But you also don't want the Cowboys to get hot. What do you think?
It's really tough. It's going to be... I'm just going to sit
back. A tie
back.
would be great.
I'm going to watch the game. A tie would be amazing. No one gets a win. I know the Giants are going to be 4-7 after they beat the Eagles this week. And at that, if the Cowboys were to win, they'd both be 6-5. So that levels the playing field. It keeps us 2 back. We have a game against the Redskins and the Cowboys left. The Cowboys' final game. And that could be huge. Even if they're 9-7, they're 9-6 going into that game, and we're 8-7, a win against them could put us into that top place in the division. So I'm just gonna sit back, eat my food, enjoy the games, and we'll work on it. We'll work from there.
And I agree with you. That Washington-Dallas game is going to be interesting. I think it's going to end up being Dallas by 10 points or more in the end. I think the Saints blow out the Falcons because the Falcons find ways to lose and the Saints just know how to win. I'm interested in that Bears-Lions game because after the loss the other night, the Vikings need some help at this point. The Packers need some help. And Bo is talking about this collapse, and I don't see it coming.
I don't either.
But I will say, this is a trap game. And Trubisky, it's easy to get hyped up for the big moments. And it's easy to get hyped up for a Vikings game for the first place in the NFC North. It's hard to play at noon on a Thursday. That's a weird time. It's hard to get hyped up against the Lions or a team that's not good. Do I think the Bears lose this game? No. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. And I think that Matthew Stafford on Thanksgiving plays extremely well. And it's Thanksgiving. You never know what's going to happen.
Now, if the Bears win, they go to 8-3.
8-3.
Oh,
But both
they're
teams are
gonna
going to go to 9-3, and then there's going to be a 4-game losing streak or
that
something when they collapse.
would be amazing. I don't see it happening. I know the Giants will beat them, so there's a loss right there. And I know they'll beat the 49ers. So they're going to get to 9 wins after they win this Thursday. That's my prediction is they win. At that point, all they're going to have to do, I think, is find the 10th win. I think 10-6 might be enough to win the NFC North if the Vikings don't get hot after their tie this week against the Packers.
You're still hung up on that tie, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tyler, thanks for joining the show. Enjoy your break from school, and I know you're looking forward to some turkey on Thursday.
Oh, I can't wait. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Hey, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you.